Hello and welcome to another weekly vlog. And Darren is right, we're just heading out. I would have just left and said nothing, but we're just heading out the door to go to my mum's and the tip, which we need to do early this morning to get back from Ollie's groom. Nicor are outside. The engineering van is outside our house. Nobody called, they've just turned up expecting to get in. We're heading out, so what you meant, I would have just fucking left because I don't think they saw us leave the house. So I would have just left them to like try to get in, and nobody answered the door. But he's now going to have a conversation with them, and we're already running late. Not my fault, by the way. Yeah, right, here he comes now. Let's see what he says. I don't think they saw you leave the house. I would have just got in the car.
No, I did too. I was looking outside window. And it's that fucking idiot again.
Oh, what's he back for? What, the one that broke everything?
Yep.
What did you
come back in the morning? I said I've got a hospital appointment, mate. I said no one's wrong. Oh, right. Oh, yeah.
Alright, well the problem is if he turns up later tomorrow, you're at the airport and I'm up with getting my mum.
Then he's not coming in, simple as that. They say he's going to come in the morning.
I don't want him touching our system because it's working now.
Well, not what I can do about that.
Yeah, but what if he breaks it again?
There's nothing I can do about it. I'm not in charge.
Phone them and say we don't want that guy out.
I've made a complaint. I've told them that. They've said they don't want me back in. Yeah, but Nicor keep on sending him. They keep on sending him because of the fucking waste of space.
Is he there because of the drip?
Yeah.
Oh, he'll make it worse. He'll break it again.
Well,
I'd rather put a thing to collect the drip than have him.
But because it wasn't dripping before, at some point is it just going to go bang and be a proper water?
And you're confident that he can sort it out?
There's nothing I could do. I've told him I don't want him back. I've told them more than once.
I'm going to play you this back after to show you how you speak. I'm just asking a simple question, you're shouting at me.
But I've said to you over and over again, I've said I don't want you back, there's nothing I can do, it's out of the company.
Right, we're on the way into my mum's. Now I'll go to Tesco first to pick up the groceries that I need to pick up. Need to remember to get the charger for the wheelchair, which is flat. I think there's a fault with it. To remember to lift money for Molly's groom, get chocolates for the nurses, although I'd be getting no fucking chocolates for the nurses because they've done cack all, well, the bare minimum. But my mum wants me to buy chocolates, so I made fucking box of chocolates. I've done more this week than a million nurses have. Maybe I should treat myself to a box of chocolates. Right, I shall switch you on at some point. I'll switch you on probably at the tip. Now we have to go and try and find stuff in Tesco because they have moved the entire store. Not just like, sometimes they move a few aisles about and you have to sort of like look around more places, but now they've actually moved all the shelving so it's like really tight. Now it used to be really, really wide aisles. Now everything's, because they seem to be like introducing more homeware and clothes, they've moved everything really, really tight and squeezed everything together, so the entire store has moved. I mean, they've moved bread from the top left corner to the bottom right corner. It's like completely different places. So we'll do that, and I'll probably switch you on when we get to the tip with the bin bags, or just before, when we get in the car with the bin bags, and I'll show you how many bin bags there are. Hopefully the car starts and drives there okay with all these faults that it has. I shall keep you updated. Okay, so we're outside the house. Oh, I need to zoom out a bit. You probably can't see. The back of this is like the size for a wheelchair, and it's full to capacity with bin bags. I'd say about 12 to 15. Darren's very excited about the prospect. And
a bin bag full of carrier bags downside the fridge. Actually more than a bin bag and a half of carrier bags.
Yeah, I came in yesterday, made a special trip to switch the freezer and the fridge back on so it was cold for when I picked up the frozen goods, and the freezer wasn't working because the extension, the really ratty arsed extension that my dad had, which he left on the floor beside the fridge when the fridge was defrosting.
With a cord extension homemade on it.
Basically is fucked. So I've got another extension on it and it's plugged in now. And the couple of frozen bits I managed to fit in the little ice box of the fridge. So fingers crossed. Right, we're going to set off now to the tip and come back, collect the car and home.
If it goes.
So guys, I don't know where to start. You can probably tell by the state of my face. Things are not good. So, I haven't spoke to you since I don't know when. So my dad didn't text on Sunday and he texted every other day and I was a bit concerned. I texted him on Sunday, no answer. I texted him again on Monday morning. Is everything alright? No, not really. Spent the night in hospital, have staples in the back of my head. Was out unconscious for 4 hours, no idea what happened. Signed himself out, went back to the hotel. I spent Monday, me and Darren, calling the police in Spain, the hospital who wouldn't tell us anything. We didn't even know what hospital he went to because he didn't know. The pub that I know he was in, nobody would tell me anything. I actually ended up going on to a tourist website for the village that he's staying in and saying, look, did anyone see anything? Described him, said what happened, and some woman that saw the whole thing emailed me. Apparently he had a fall in the pub after the Spurs match. Now he's claiming he didn't have a feed of drink because he was due to go on an excursion first thing the next morning and he wanted to be up and early and feeling okay. Now I don't know if that's true or not, I have my suspicions. He had a fall in the pub and banged his head. 2 guys that he was with started taking him back to the hotel. He stopped on the way for about 15-20 minutes, leaning up against a wall, couldn't walk any further. They were trying to get him to drink water. And all of a sudden he went straight back. You know, like those one-punch knockouts? Went straight back, hit his head off the pavement. The guys that he was with saw the blood, loads of it. Took off his shirt, wrapped his head in it. He was close to hotel reception. Hotel reception called an ambulance. Got a towel, or got a pillow and a sheet for him while the ambulance, they took him to hospital. He says he had a brain scan. How he knows that, I have no idea, because he remembers nothing. He came back to the hotel in a taxi at 4 AM on Monday morning. And when I spoke to him on Monday, he was sick, he couldn't stand up, he was dizzy, he was staying in the hotel. I've been trying to find out everything from everyone. He keeps not answering his phone, he keeps switching his phone off, and he was due to fly back today. I'm currently sat in my dad's car in Ballycastle outside Dalriada, where I should be about to take my mum home. I texted him this morning. He says, I'll be on the flight, I'll be on the flight. I said, you've got concussion and a headwind, they'll probably not let you on the plane. Did you get a fit to fly letter? No. Did you get any paperwork from the hospital? No. Do you know what hospital it was? No. Initially, the hotel didn't tell me anything until somebody tagged them on the post that I put on that, and obviously it's not very good for business, is it? Then they got back to me. If somebody's unconscious for 4 hours and has staples in the back of their head and remembers nothing, to me they shouldn't be discharged from hospital the same night. He probably has voided his insurance. He doesn't know any information. See, trying to find out anything from them is almost impossible. I even emailed the pub that he was in, who didn't want to tell me anything either. It's like this, oh, better not tell his door. So anyway, the upshot is he said he would be on the flight. I texted him, have you left for the airport? No answer. I texted him, you need to tell me when you're on the plane because I need to know what I'm doing with my mum. No answer. So he said his phone off. Darren's just texted me, he's met him in the airport, so he's got on the flight. I'm amazed because flying can make a head injury worse. He's got on, look at this, fucking double chin. He's got on the plane, Darren's just picked him up. I've said, look, let me know what the hell I'm doing. So I have to break this to my mum. Because he didn't get back to me and because I didn't know what was happening, I arranged a longer respite stay. I've had to go into town and sort out her medication with the chemist because she only had a week's medication, so I've been like a blue arse fly. Darren's in our car getting my dad. Then he's got stuff to do, make sure that someone speaks to the doctor, that we find out when he goes to get his staples, that he has the head wound dressed. And my head is fucking pounding. She thinks that I'm going in to take her home, and I'm going in to tell her that she's potentially there until Monday of next week. This is Tuesday, by the way. No, is it Monday? No, this is Tuesday. This is Tuesday. So I'm potentially going in to tell her. Hang on. Just check this text. Oh God. Workmen are building something. Have you heard me? Of course they're building something. Burning something down there. There's loads of smoke coming out of where that new housing estate is. I don't remember when I last spoke to you. It was yesterday. I was up outside the hospital. My dad had got back. Right, I don't think I've spoken to you since then. Let me update you further. So my dad doesn't have staples, I think they're stitches. It's quite badly scabbed, so it's really hard to tell. We have to speak to the doctor about when they're coming out. We called yesterday. They says, no, you have to call back at 8:30 in the morning, and then Darren forgot to call this morning. We called Dalriada, and they says, oh, that sounds like he needs to go to A&E with that. And my dad says, because you can whistle basically. I'm not going to A&E to sit for 6 hours to be told to come back in a week for my stitches out. So his mate came down to see him because he told his mate while we were there yesterday, after I'd been up to see my mum. I was glad to see him down, but he's his drinking buddy, and I'm like, don't you be going to the BT club? Oh, I'll not be going to the BT club, at least until Friday. Friday's usually his day when he would go out with Brendan, his mate. And I'm like, I says, you're going to give me a nervous breakdown here. I says to Brendan, look, I says, if he goes to the BT club on Friday, can you make sure that he gets home to the house okay? Yep, oh, I'll make sure. So, but they're as bad as each other. It's like men of a certain age with no fucking sense. I mean, my dad will be 70 next year in January. He's also cracked his phone screen when he went down. Got a picture of the two guys that helped him, which I'll put up for you now. Funny enough, before it happened, he said the older guy was like acting like a real arsehole. He was being really arrogant and just not, he wasn't, he doesn't know their names. I says, well, where were they from? He says, I've no idea. He says, they were English, that's all I know. And apparently he came up to the pool table and shoved people's money off that was queuing to wait for a game of pool and says, I'm next. And he was just being a real arse. But when what happened, he was the only one that helped my dad. So it just goes to show, you know, you can't judge. Probably just someone that had a bit of drink in them and just, you know. But anyway, you know, thankfully they were there. What else? So we're awaiting the bill from the hospital, which my dad doesn't think we're going to get. Yeah, right. What else can I tell you? He's sore and stiff. He said his legs are shaky. I've instructed him to rest. Darren went and bought him a ton of stuff from the butcher's yesterday, a ton of meat. I had got them the basics of the shopping in, like, you know, stuff for sandwiches, and he likes noodles and bread and just basics and stuff to drink and the soft drinks. I undone all his unpacking and I've done his dirty washing. The irony of the shirt that they used to put to the back of his head was his favourite t-shirt, his old grey whistle test t-shirt. I've managed, I think, to get all the blood out of it, so you'll be pleased about that. It looks a bit small for him though. I think I might need to get him another one. He bought my mum a handbag of all fucking things. He says there's nothing to buy her. He says, I know it's the last thing in the world she needs, but I didn't know what else to get her. My mum has a fixation with handbags. He bought me this little necklace and a dream catcher and a ornamental skull. He bought Darren some football shirt. He joked that it was a Leeds shirt. Darren's team's Bradford, which is a massive rival. It's like Man United and Liverpool. Actually, it's probably not. It's like Man City and Man United, or Chelsea and Spurs, or an Arsenal. Same area, different team. But it wasn't. It was a it was a foreign team, maybe Real Madrid. I can't remember. He got Isaac 2 really cool t-shirts. One's like a biker one, and the other one has got like mugshots of all different horror characters, all in little squares, and a baseball cap and a pair of sunglasses. He shouldn't be buying anybody anything, but he's home. He seems okay, other than obviously being sore, stiff, and you know. The nurse called. I went up to see my mum yesterday. I was there for 2.5 hours. Visiting hours is an hour and a half. They keep telling my mum and anybody that will listen how short staffed they are, and I know it's shit, but to project that onto other people like my mum, and to basically complain about having to take her to the toilet because they're so short staffed. My mum needs to go to the toilet an inordinate amount of times because she feels like she needs to go. It's called urge incontinence, and then she can't do anything. But then the nurses, or this one specific woman called Mary, keeps getting angry at her for bothering them and then not doing anything. And I'm thinking, you fucking bitch, why are you in this job? You know, it's an MS symptom. She thinks she needs to go, and then she can't. She's not making it up. It's one of them things. And she's like, for goodness sake, with the amount you go to the toilet, why have you not had a catheter fitted? Now, this was my question for many years, but apparently another nurse told my mum that if you have problems with constipation, which my mum has massive issues with, having a catheter fitted is a really bad idea. So she was going to get one, but they backed up on that. So I found out yesterday accidentally that the reason my dad stopped using the steady with my mum and started lifting her is because she fell off the steady. Like I always said, she's going to fall off that thing because she's leaning so far over to one side. The people in there are having to hoist her constantly for everything, and it is a lot of work and it takes a long time. But the nurse called me yesterday when I was still at my dad's after I'd left my mum. So I got in there about 1:30 and I left just after 4. And she said, well, I was hoping to speak to you before you left yesterday, and then I found out you'd gone. Now yesterday was not a good day for me. I was stressed to the back teeth, I was sick, I hadn't eaten all day, I didn't know if my dad was going to get back, what was going on, whether Darren was going to have to go to Spain. I'm trying to sort my mum out, I'm trying to sort her medication out, and then I've this nurse. Now when I went up there, you couldn't have seen anybody for love nor money. There was no one there. There was a couple of care staff, and I gave the medication to one of the care staff. And she says, oh, I'll go and try and find one of the nurses now. Do you need to speak to her? I says, no, I just need to drop off the medication for the next week. My mum's stay's been extended till Monday. Alright, okay. So then this nurse called and started getting really passive aggressive on me, and I was not in the mood. I says, yes, I was there for 2.5 hours. I said, but nobody came anywhere near me. There was nobody to be seen anywhere, and I wasn't going to look around an entire hospital. And then she dropped her attitude and started asking about my dad. Well, is she going to be here till Monday, or are you going to take her home earlier? I says, well, it's a lot really dependent on how my dad is, but you know, he's home, but he's stiff, he's sore, he's blah blah blah. So is it going to be Monday then? I says, right, well, let's say it's Monday then. I said, it's going to be at least Monday, but we'll say Monday. Well, so what time? I says, it'll be early afternoon. Well, what time? I said, she says, a similar time to what you normally come up, 2 o'clock. I says, right, okay, 2 o'clock. I'm thinking, you people are working in a respite centre. Respite is to give people that have to care all year round a little bit of a break. And all they've done is complain, whinge, can you do this, can you do that, give me attitude for leaving before speaking to a nurse, even though I was there an hour over the allotted visiting hours and no one came anywhere near me. I went and found another member of staff, she didn't go get a nurse, nothing. I'm like, right, me and my dad, I'm going to get my dad now to take him up. I says, me and my dad will be up tomorrow. If there's anything you want to talk about, I can speak to you then. But I appreciate the job's hard, and I appreciate, you know, it's thankless, but I'm a very polite person. My dad's a very polite person. We're not rude to people. But if you're going to try and make me feel like you're doing me a favour and going out of your way for doing your job, and trying to make out that we're all inconveniencing you, when why does she not appreciate the fact that they're complaining about having my mum for a week. We have her the whole year round, and we have this toilet thing all year round. We have the demands, we have the kind of this, kind of that, much more than they have, because they're not in the room. We're in the room with my mum and she's like, can you reach me this, can you do that, can you get me my handbag, can you put that back in my handbag, can you take this drink off me? And it's constant, it is absolutely constant. They're not having that, they're just having the excessive toilet trips, and they're trying to make us feel like, almost like they're annoyed because she's staying for a bit longer. But the reason she's staying longer is I know my dad's not fit to care for her in the house, and I know if, and I tried to talk to him about it yesterday, and he says, well, if she needs to go to the toilet, I'm not going to sit there, let her sit there and piss herself, am I? And I says, well, I says, something's going to happen. I says, if you and her both go down, you crack your head, she breaks her hip. So what do you do? So I'm taking him up to see her. He hasn't seen her in over a week since they went away. I don't know what she's going to be like with him after the accident. Apparently she warned him when he went away. He's claiming to me he had 2 pints. Now, you know the way you know a person and you know what they look like when they've had one too many? There's a picture of him with the 2 guys, and he looked pissed to me. And actually, the picture that I put up earlier, let me put it up for you again. Take a look at my dad's face. That is not a man that's had 2 pints, in my opinion. 2 pints would barely affect you. And saying that, my dad didn't have any sun protection. He's home with a bright red face. He doesn't drink enough, as in soft drinks. He won't have eaten enough. You know, he's probably went down with a mixture of alcohol on an empty stomach, nothing else to drink, too hot. Down he's gone. So anyway, I'm going to get him now, take him up to my mum, see how things are. She's going to be nagging to get home, and I know him, he'll say, well, if you want to come home, I'll take you home. Oh dear God, give me patience, and then I'll be panicking that he's lifting her with a fucking concussion. Is there a time when you can, like, the only way I can describe it is, it's like having kids that never grow up. There's no common sense, but you can't protect them because you don't live with, what are you doing? The guy was coming onto my side of the road. You don't live with them, you can't tell them what to do, they won't listen to you, you can't keep them safe. They're going to do what they're going to do, but they've got the sense of toddlers. But you know, when they get themselves into the shit, you're the one that's going to have to pick up the pieces every single time, sort it out every single time. They just, my dad thinks he's not going to get a bill from Spain for an accident and emergency stay, 4 hours unconscious, and a brain scan, and an x-ray. I don't think he had a brain scan, I think he's just had an x-ray, because he kept telling me his head's stapled. It's not stapled, I'm sure it's stitches. So we shall see. That's the same model car as my dad's there, just gone in there. So I'll get off. The sun's making my hair look redder than it actually is. My hair's not, it's quite dull at the minute. I'm due to go back on, I think it's the 14th of this month, to have it done again. Thankfully the 2 streams that I was due to do, one, excuse me, this Thursday and one next Tuesday, have both been postponed till later, which is fabulous with all this going on, so I can relax a bit. I've sorted out loads of the scout badges that I can. Did I tell you about people refusing to wear badges because there was a Union flag on it? It's like, oh, for fuck's sake, get the fucking thing on. They won't let their son put an Air Activities badge on because it says Royal Air Force and it's got a Union flag on it. Now, I am aware there's a big political situation. I'm a person in Northern Ireland that identifies as Irish. As I've said before, a lot of people here identify as British, and you have the right to do that. But I'm not gonna, Isaac's got badges with Union flags on. I'm not about to get my nose out of fucking joint about it. Get the badge on. It's not a big issue. You're not waving a fucking flag and saying, I'm British. You're saying that that's the authority they awarded the bus. Like, I can't. So I've been trying to order badges, and I can order badges with any form of British or royal insignia on it. And there's 3 badges that I can't get because they all say royal or British, or they have that flag on. And I said, is it just this one parent? Because I found out what parent it was. Because a little lad with an Irish name who has got a fada, which is an accent like an acute or a grave in French. It's a little, you know, the little line that you get over cafe, you know, that sort of thing. So when I was trying to find out who had what badges, she says, oh well, I spoke to Francis, that's the other leader, I spoke to Francis about the Our Activities badge and that Phelan won't be wearing it. And I thought, oh right, so it was you. She didn't tell me who it was. And I'd said to her, look, is it just this one parent? I can try, you know, and mooch about and see if I can get an old style badge somewhere or switch someone else's out. And I says, or is it everyone? She says, oh, you'd be better to just do the same for everyone because you'll probably get more with the same issue. And I'm like, for fuck's sake. And she really doesn't understand it because she's Scottish. And I'm like, look, I says, I'm from here and I don't flipping understand. I says, I get the politics. I says, but I think it's stupid. And she says, well, I asked my husband. Her husband obviously is from here as well. And oh, yes. And he was like, oh, no, you can't expect them to wear that, right? Why is the car not there? Where the hell is my dad? I told him I'd be in at 1:30 to pick him up. And the car's not there. Give me fucking patience. Right, I'm gonna have to... I told him I'll be in at 1:30. Given that it's 1:25. I'm hoping he's gone to the bloody co-op to pick something up. He wouldn't have left a note or anything. He could have phoned me. He's got my phone number. So do I wait here? Oh, fucking hell. Right, I'll talk to you guys later. I'll have to go and figure out what the fuck's going on now. This is the bee bush. Look at all them bees. Wasps. And blue balls. Look at that wasp. I'm stress eating, folks. So, the first piece of good news is his car wasn't there because it was at John Leonard's, the mechanic. We went up to see my mum, who's much the same. But my dad started shaking and he said he was freezing. I'm worrying about infection leading to sepsis. I had to leave the hospital and go outside and try and sit in the sun. He can barely get up or sit down, he's still stiff and sore. So we left at like 10 to 4, which my mum wasn't best pleased with because I'm usually there till like 4:30, 4:45, even though we're meant to be left at 4. And I'm like, look, I can't let him go out there on his own. He could go down again, I don't know what's wrong with him, I have to go and take him home. I says he shouldn't really be out at all, but he wanted to come up and see you. So I left. Don't think she was best pleased, but you're like between a rock and a hard place, aren't you? And got him home, put the seat heater on for him all the way home. He's just struggling. He needs a good long rest. So I've said to my mum, we're not coming up tomorrow. I said I need a rest because I haven't stopped all week. I says I'll be up on Friday. I've said to my dad, I'll go up on Friday on my own. You need to rest. I said I'll be going up again on Sunday and you can come up with me on Sunday. And then she gets home on Monday, so that's just going to have to be what she's happy with. They give me a thing to pay his electric bill for him at the post office. The first post office was closed early due to short staff. Well, not in stature, they were short-staffed. And I said to my dad, I don't think you can pay with this, there should be another sheet. No, 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 you can pay with that. I says, I'm sure there's another sheet with like a bank gyro credit on it. No, 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 I ripped all that up. I pay with that, I pay with that all the time, that's right. I've just gone to our local post office and I said to the lad, I says, I'm paying this for somebody else. I says, but I don't, the person in front of me was really rude to the guy behind the checkout. Well, I should be able to do this, da 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 da. He says, well, there's nothing here for me to scan. You know, it says take it to your bank or building society. He says, there's nothing I can do with it here. And she was quite arsey with him. And I come up thinking, oh Jesus. And I says, look, I says, I may be going to be really awkward too. I says, I'm paying this for someone else, and I really have a feeling that there should be a second sheet to this, but he's telling me there isn't. Oh no, he says there's a sheet with the barcode on it for me to scan, it's not there. And I'm like, right, I thought as much. I can't pay it out of my bank account online because I can't afford to. It's 120 quid. A quarter of the electric bill. 130 quid. I don't have 130 quid to spare out of my bank. I know I've got the cash, but I can't get to the bank to put it in. So my mum's pretty much the same. She told off that really rude carer called Mary yesterday. Made me laugh. She was being funny again with her, being like, you know, like she is. She's just a cantankerous bitch. And my mum said to her, have you got a pick of me or something? You're always really rough. And she sort of said nothing. And she says to her, Mary, you're in the wrong profession. That's what I always said to my mum. I says, well, clearly she's in the wrong profession. She's just repeated that to her. Actually, good for you. So, have to phone my dad tomorrow and check on him. Honest to God. I'm getting this in me before I get into the house, so I don't have to admit I've had a whisper before my tea. I'm dying. I'm just dying for something to get my energy up a bit. I'm running on air here, fumes. So tomorrow there's a guy coming with a CPAP machine for Darren because he's, don't know if I told you, after all the sleep studies he had, he's got obstructive sleep apnea, which I've told him for years I think he had. He's finally had all the tests and he does have it. So there's a guy coming with a CPAP machine tomorrow to show him how it works. So I'm going to try and call the doctor as well about getting him down for my dad have this head wound looked at, just to, you know, make sure it looks like it's healing okay. Have his symptoms looked at. The thing is getting my dad to bloody go, because I know what he's like. Yeah, so I'm just pulling into the house now, just pulling into my little cul-de-sac. Oh Jesus, it's bright. There's that wee fucker that always ignores me. The kids about here, they're wee shits. Right, I have to go in and try and help Isaac with chemistry revision. Oh, and I've got some more Scouts admin to do. Honest to God, I never get a fucking minute. Right, I shall, don't think there's much else to catch you guys up with. We passed a guy in a car with smoke billowing out of the engine, but my dad was feeling awful and I couldn't stop, and I'm like, is he okay? And I'm like going to put the window down to say, do you need anything? The guy was, and thankfully the person in front of me stopped, and you know, someone stopped with him, which I would have done had I been on my own, but my dad wasn't well and I couldn't really, you know. Right, I'm gonna go, folks. I will catch up with you later in the week if there's anything else to tell you, but yeah, things are much as they were. I'm still a bit worried about my dad. How he's gonna cope when my mum come out is anybody's guess, because as he is, he can't. But it's a problem for another day at the minute. I shall speak to you guys later. So guys, Thursday evening. This is Darren's CPAP machine. So I dread to think, I hope this isn't going to make a fucking load of noise. He'll be wearing it for the first time tonight, so I shall get him to switch the light on so I can film him if he will allow it, so you can see it, so we can have much mirth together. Yeah, I'll switch you back on when he comes up. Cannot even take a picture.
Nope.
Hello guys, it is Friday. It is such, look at out that window, it is such bad weather. Nicor van's here, you can't see it because it's over that side. Wait till I get going and then I'll tell you. Nicor are the engineering company with this ongoing saga that I don't know if I posted or if I said anything on my vlog. I put it on Facebook, but we thought it was all fixed, all sorted, and it's like, yay, we've got warm water. It's obviously getting really cold now. I'm trying not to hit the night caravan. Maybe I should hit it on badness. Oh, Isaac's, hang on, I'm gonna have to send Darren a text. Just noticed Isaac's bedroom window. Oh god, I just noticed Isaac's bedroom window was open, and it's like really shit weather, so I had to phone Darren to shut it. It is so wet and crap. The road that I have to go on to get to my mum's is called the Frosses Road, and it's one of the most dangerous roads. I've got such bad indigestion, I can't even tell you. One of the most dangerous roads in Northern Ireland. There was a man killed on it last week. That's a regular, you know, basically the bit where I'm driving. When I took my dad up on Wednesday, was it Tuesday? Whatever day it was Wednesday. In a half to 3/4 mile stretch, I'll say half a mile stretch, there were 3 police cars just sitting at like little pull-in sections with their nose towards the road, you know, like diagonally facing the road, to show the police presence on that road, because the driving, the speeding is just ridiculous. So they're gonna have to do something, I don't know what. They're gonna need to have more police to like be catching people speeding. I don't know if I mentioned it. I was speaking to my dad, there was a guy who went past me, he must have been doing about 80. He had L plates up. I don't know, right enough, they might not have been his L plates, but he was in a tiny little car, you know, like a boy racer type car, and he was easily doing 90, approaching, going from a 60 into a 40. And he was going so fast that like one side of his car was almost lifting off the road. That was on that road. People just drive like idiots. Anyway, it's Friday. I have scouts tonight with all these badges to give out. A lot. And what was I going to say? So I'm on the way up to see my mum. I've told my dad I don't want him going today, I want him resting. That night I brought him home, or the day, Wednesday, he threw up all Wednesday night. He still won't go to the doctor. He said he felt much better on the Thursday. I don't know, but today, see if he goes out to that BT club, I'm going to be so angry. Tomorrow I'm taking a day off from everything. Sunday, if my dad's up to it, taking him up to see my mum, and Monday we collect her to bring her home. So yeah, actually it would have made more sense to bring her home on Sunday, to be honest, rather than just have her there for one more night and then up the next day. But anyway, yeah, I'm just frazzled. I'm just trying to organise everybody and everything, and it's a lot right now because my brain's just on empty. I'm on empty. Do you ever feel you've gone the wrong way? I haven't gone the wrong way, but I feel like it says it's half an hour from my house to the hospital, and it most certainly isn't, unless Google is aware of something that I'm not. What I find is, the time it tells you on Google it takes you to get from one place to another, if you do the speed limit at every point of your journey, it's actually impossible to get from that place to that place in that time. You have to be breaking the speed limit in certain areas, and it doesn't allow for traffic or anything like that. It's like, what? I don't get it. It doesn't matter how much I think I've, like, you know, made up time. I mean, like, if you're on the motorway, let's be honest, we'll push it a bit above 70. Not excessively, but I mean, if I'm going like at the top 70, 75 that I can go, and I'm still not getting there on time, what's that all about? Yeah, I've nothing else really to tell you. My badge delivery should have come today from Scouts. It hasn't, which means there'll be more badges to give out next week, which is a pain in the arse. More little envelopes that I'll be using up. Yeah. Right, I shall go, and I shall if I remember, I'll try, and I won't remember because what am I supposed to do? Sit in my mum's room pointing a camera, or you know what I mean? It's not something you're going to do. We can't go outside today because it's so cold and so wet. So yeah, we shall see. I shall speak to you guys later. Sorry, I'll stop in a minute. Stupid man trying to drive. Sorry. It's just the steering wheel was upside down and I was completely discombobulated by trying to work out where my mute button was, and there was a guy pulling out in a car when I was reversing who nearly reversed into me, and there was another guy driving in who just seemed to not see anything on the road in front of him. So yes, a bit distracted there. Yeah, my mum's much the same. The TV's working again, thankfully. The TV aerial broke the other day, so the only one thing she's got to bloody do. She does have the audio CD, so she's got that, but she can't see to read, she's got no dexterity to do anything with her hands, so all she's got is the TV. I can't even see that very well. I didn't bring my dad up because he's not up to it. I'll check again on Sunday to see how he is, see if he's up to going up there. We shall see. The plan now is to get home before rush hour hits, and to get into Scouts tonight to get those badges sorted. And yeah, that's the plan. I'll try and record a little bit tonight if I can at Scouts, although you're probably not remotely interested, but it's different to me like waffling about here, isn't it, in the car. I'm gonna go, guys, and concentrate on driving and getting back on this dangerous bloody road. I shall speak to you later. Right, I've got lost, guys. I've had to put the sat-nav on and I've went the wrong. I had two choices and I picked the wrong one. Right, I have to let you hear what type of music Isaac likes. Hang on. This is his favourite track on this album, if I can find it. It's called Ronald. Flipping out. Well, it's not awful, it's just not my cup of tea. Here we go. So when you think I listen to heavy music, I mean, the voices in my head keep on telling me really? To try, 'cause I'm spinning like a carousel. I like this one. This is my favourite song on the album. We're the land of the free. We're the home of the brave. Freedom of speech. That's what they say. We're taking it. This keeps dipping because I've got my sat-nav on. Say goodbye. Stand down or fall like the rest of them. One nation under oblivion. Look at the flipping state of this road from that. Look at how much he's got on the back of that. Honestly, the fucking mate, pardon my language, I have come to the conclusion that I swear too much. And believe it or not, I've always known I swear too much, but when I edit my videos, it's like, oh Lisa, that's a disgrace. So I'm going to try and swear less. I just thought I'd let you see some of the roads. Not that they're very exciting, but roads between villages. This is actually what you would consider a nice, wide, well-maintained road between a village. I have shown you the less decent ones previously. Yeah, I only ever, like on this road, I always think I'm going the wrong way until I get to the point that there's a big church, and then it's like, right, okay, I know where I am now. Speaking about that big church, there we are. Whoa, what the fuck is that? Right, we know that we turned down the hill in front of the church. Why am I getting beeped at? What about? No idea. Are my lights on? My lights are on auto. My lights are, look at all them flags on them lampposts. This is the thing that nowhere else in the UK you'd be allowed to do. Right, it's beeping again. But yeah, over here, flags on every flipping lamppost. Here we are at Scouts. Doing some games. Isaac's over there. Morning guys, it is Saturday. Just thought I'd put this on to show you this. Can you see all the little sparrows? All waiting on me going out and give them some fat balls and seeds. That's just one section of the bush. There's tons of them. Look at them all. Right, let's go and feed these little babas. So it is Saturday, folks. Isaac is going down to Daniel's house for the afternoon, and me and Darren, against our better judgment, are going to see Folie à Deux, the Joker 2, which every solitary person that I know that has seen it has said the very nicest thing anyone has said is it's really disappointing. They did say Lady Gaga's really good in it. I'm a big fan of Lady Gaga, but some people are saying it's absolutely terrible. It completely destroys the character. It like ruins the first movie, which me and Darren both loved. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. It is a musical.
Why?
I don't know this. It's a decision they've made, Isaac. So we'll go and we'll see, because I enjoyed the remake of The Crow. It wasn't, well, for what it's worth, it wasn't a remake of The Crow. It's a different enough. Everyone else other than one person that I know hated that movie. So I'm thinking there's a possibility that I might like it. We'll see. It's not often we get the chance to go and see a film like that Isaac can't see, that Isaac wouldn't want to see anyway, because it's, you know how the first Joker was really dark and it's not something that most kids would enjoy. It was too much about psychology and stuff.
The Batman, you said the exact same thing about. I love that film.
I don't think you would like the first Joker, Isaac. It's just, there's bits in it where he sits and just laughs and laughs and laughs and everyone's quiet and it's really uncomfortable.
Yeah.
This one is a musical, and like Darren, Isaac hates musicals. I've said to Darren, are you sure you want to see this? Because I'll go and see it on my own. So he said, yeah, I'll go see it, but I suspect he's gonna hate. Apparently they just put songs in that don't really fit very well, is what I've heard.
About drugs and kidnapping.
I don't know what's gonna happen, but we'll see. I suspect that Lady Gaga's gonna be doing most of the singing. But we'll see. I will be doing a review for the channel, so you can hop over there to see what we thought. We're waiting on Darren as usual. We're due at Daniel's house in 2 minutes, and I have to make a stop at the shop, which I did tell him before I left the house, but you know how it is. I shall catch up with you guys later. I'm investigating a weird noise. Yep, it's here. I think it's water out there. Hello guys. Yes, no makeup today. I didn't get time, to be honest. Oh, it's awful, and my hair needs doing. It's Sunday. I've put this on just to close the vlog. I got caught up trying to find out this morning via the mum of the lad that Isaac went to see yesterday, that apparently, I think I told you before, he has 4 sets of exams every year, which is ridiculous, for every subject. They're called CMs. His CM1s we knew are due in October, but they haven't given dates, and they always give dates. But apparently his chemistry and physics CMs, and potentially his biology, are this week. One's on Tuesday, one's on Thursday, and it's like, oh my fucking life. And he's left homework that's due for like Tuesday, Wednesday and Friday. So I'm like, no, you're getting all this homework done, and when I'm away you're looking over your chemistry and your biology. So I had to try and get loads of stuff to get, you know, help him out, because he basically said there was this page in Irish that was impossible granted, he didn't know a lot of the vocab because I don't think they've been taught it, but they're supposed to see if they can get a gist. Isaac's not the best at. I will do anything it takes to get the job done, so I basically just, he says, I typed stuff into Google Translate and it made no sense. What he was doing was like typing the odd word he didn't understand. And I'm like, no Isaac, type the whole damn thing in and it'll translate it. So I ended up doing that. I was trying to edit a video I did for my review for the Joker yesterday to get that up, but I ran out of time, and I had intended to put some makeup on my face. Again, I ran out of time. So you've got this Beck to look at, to Beck, Northern Irish for face. Oh, it's not good, but it's what it looked like, so I can't fucking help it, can I? It's my face. What else can I tell you? The Joker, oh, you could have gone there. So many people are so very annoyed at the Joker movie. If you're a big fan of Batman and, oh, there's a lovely big dog hanging out the window of the back of that car. It's massive, there's two of them, there's one each side. I don't know what that breed is, it's massive. I'm so easily distracted by dogs. If you're a massive fan of the Batman, like Joker franchise, you will be really annoyed by what they did with it in this. Now, I love the first film, as in the Joker with Joaquin Phoenix, and what they did with it and how different it was and how gritted, you know, sort of like grounded it was and quite uncomfortable, and it was more about his psyche and his mental health. I really dug that, I like that. And this starts with more of the same, but then there are massive changes which I won't say anything about. But the film's really well made, it's really well acted. Cinematography is beautiful. There's too much singing in it. This is someone that likes singing. A really sore throat. It gets to the point where there's singing in scenes where you just want to know what's happening. It's like, no, I want you to talk, I want you to say something. And she's singing or he's singing, and it's not songs written for the musical, it's existing songs. So like one of the songs in it, as an example, is Close to You by the Carpenters, which is one I really like. And there might be My Way in it. Anyway, all of the songs are quite older songs, and they're all existing songs. There aren't original. I don't think there's any original songs. But there's a big drop in this. There's a big like, oh my god, what? That has annoyed so many people. They're really, really pissed off. Now, not being a person that's massively invested in that particular franchise, I can just say the film was well made and acted and everything, but I will admit that the decision where they went was left field, and it didn't really feel like it was in a good way. You know, sometimes you get a shock and you're like, oh right, and it's like, that's quite clever, I quite like that. This one's just pissing everybody off royally. But yeah, I would say go see it in the cinema if you're a massive fan of the franchise, of like the whole story, the Joker Batman storyline. If nothing else, just to say that you saw it in the cinema, but if you're not that fussed, I'd say wait until streaming. So I'm going up to see my mum on my own because I spoke to my dad yesterday. He's got real balance issues at the moment and he's scared of steps. Again, he's refusing to go near a doctor and won't until the stitches are due to come out. The accident happened a week ago tomorrow, so because we're getting my mum out tomorrow and my dad wants to come up with me to get her out, we're looking at trying to see if we can get him in anywhere on Tuesday to get his stitches out. I think they said 7 days. He says they're staples, I think they're stitches. You're probably thinking, have you not just looked at it? It's so badly scabbed you can't tell. And I'm really resistant to take to it because his head's really sore. Oh, please don't go my way. There's something driving really slow in front of me. I'm going to be a bit late today. It's really, really bad weather. The guy in front of me is like a big don't know what that is. It's like a tractor on the back of a trailer being pulled by something else, and we're down to 20 miles an hour right now. So that was just to finish off this week's vlog for you folks. I'm going up to see my mum today. I'm going to bring home a lot of her stuff, so tomorrow's a bit easier. Tomorrow me and my dad go up together to collect her to bring her home, which is a bit scary because she doesn't have the common sense and the wherewithal and the memory to know that she shouldn't be asking my dad to do certain things. She'll just be like, I need this, and she'll just ask, and my dad will just do. My dad will not say, no, I'm not really able to do that. It's not in his nature. So that's going to be the next concern. So it's going to have to be a lot of checking in. Doing our usual of needing the toilet the minute I come in. Grumpy arse nurse in there complaining because she has to do her job. She's having a moment because my dad's not here. Thinks that he doesn't want her home because he's not here. Doesn't understand the fact that he's not able to come up. Give me fucking patience. Got another big massive bag of washing. Well, sure, it doesn't matter where it was, does it? Right, well, there's going to be medical. Could have been worse, could have been the shingle. Yeah, well, I'll take them 3 bags down. And then tomorrow we'll just have to bring the stereo and what you're wearing now. There's Richard Attenborough or something on the telly. I don't know. Oh, there's a sale. So anyway, I'll go now so I'm not waffling at you all day. Thank you as always for watching. I shall be back to you next week. Hopefully life will get back to a little bit of normality in the next couple of weeks. I'm way behind. See, like with all this happening, I stopped Christmas shopping. I've spent quite a lot of money buying stuff for, like, on petrol for all over the place, and for, you know, stuff for my dad's house, stuff to store, cleaning stuff, chairs. So, oh, that reminds me, I have to lift money. Oh god, my mum wants to give them a larger donation when she leaves because she's been there a week longer, so I have to withdraw money for that. So my Christmas shopping has, I've bought Isaac nothing yet, and I literally don't know anything that he wants. He's at that age where all he wants to do is play games and listen to music. That's it. He's got no interest in anything else, and honest to God, that lad, if he had any more t-shirts, he's getting to be as bad as Darren. Darren has now started donating his 2 small t-shirts to Isaac, so like mediums, because Darren doesn't fit in a medium anymore, he's a large now. So Isaac's getting all these rock t-shirts. It's like, oh, you know what I mean? It's like he's got so many. So I'm gonna have to just say to him, Isaac, write a list of things you would like for Christmas, and just, because there's no point buying your kids something that they're not gonna want, need, play with, you know. And he'll be 14 next year. It's not like, occasionally he does play with figures, but very rarely. It's just at that age. You know, like when girls are at this age, it's easy because it's like clothes, makeup, toiletries, lush stuff. It's dead easy with girls, hair stuff, you know. With boys, Isaac's not remotely bothered about things like designer trainers or anything. Is that a person hiding? No. It's a high-vis wrapped around a post. I thought it was a person hiding. So yeah, we shall see. It's so much easier with kids for Christmas when they're little, because you can get, you know, kids like anything, you get them when they're little, don't they? And they don't have really specific, you know, wants and desires. You know, if you get them a couple of things that they want, they'll be happy because there's just loads of presents. So bit harder when they get that little bit older, especially because what you get never looks that much, because stuff like, you know, a computer game, tiny little thing can cost like 60 quid plus, so you know what I mean. We're not exactly the most flush people in the world. I get really bad tempered about having to buy loads of Christmas presents. I love Christmas, don't get me wrong, I love it, and like, of course I want to buy like little token gifts for people that don't cost a lot of money, because especially kids, because you know, it's kids, it's Christmas. But see, when people start, oh auntie this and that. Now don't get me wrong, if that's what you do, great, but I just can't be arsed, because it's like, you never see these people, you never talk to these people, you never interact with these people, and then you have to buy them fucking presents because it's Christmas, and my brain's going, why? Although we don't buy like cousins and aunts and uncles and stuff, we never have. But I remember the time when we had like, poor Kelly still got all this, we had like Darren's brothers and their wives and their kids, and to be honest I think that was because I was the one in the family making the effort. No one else really did, and then when there was like marriage split ups, and to be honest the kids now are all like, you know, early 20s, late 30s, maybe 19 plus, so I don't need to be buying them all presents for Christmas. So, and none of them lot bought us anything, so we just put a stop to doing it. And then Darren's dad and his wife, his new wife, his wife of a few years, their idea of a Christmas present or a birthday present is to put a tenner in an envelope and send it you, and that's it. Which suits me just dandy-o, because that covers their Christmas presents, a tenner each, suits me just fine. Literally now, the only I'm waffling, I said I wouldn't, but I'm doing it. The only people I buy for Christmas now are Darren and Isaac, my parents. Obviously I give a tenner each to Darren's dad and Kath, Kelly, Dave, Alice, and I'll buy something small for little Sophie across the way, she's 3. But there are like other ones that I forget about, and then it occurs to me and it's like, oh shit, I forgot this, you know, but nothing major. Because I can't afford it. It's like, I have to stop, like I put a little bit into the savings account every week for like a holiday fund, which has been used for like me and Bill fund this, you know, but coming up to like for about, from October onwards, even actually from September onwards, I can't save any money, because the money that I normally save I have to use for Christmas. I don't know how people afford to do such big Christmases. They must earn a fucking fortune. I'm concentrating now because there's 2 turn-offs here and I don't want to take the wrong one like I did the last time on the way home. Right, that's the car park and that's the turn-off. They're literally side by side. There's a car park and like a slip onto the motorway, and I have to like go completely 180 on myself, so I have to take this weird curly slip. Oh, this is riveting stuff, isn't it? Listen to that acceleration. This is this fucking dangerous road that people keep dying on. That fatality last week. Why when I say the word fatality do I want to do that? Is it Mortal Kombat? Fatality. What? It's wrong, but I can't say the word fatality without saying that. Is it Street Fighter or Mortal Kombat? I'm sure it was Mortal Kombat. Right, I'm going to sign off, guys. I shall check in with you next week. As I say, my mum comes home tomorrow. I'm trying to see about getting my dad's stitches out, and I will catch you all later. Over and out from Kate and